Hi, you beautiful tarot people, you. Welcome to another pick a card reading. My name is Louise and this is Silver Tree Tarot. We're going to do a pick a card reading today on whether you should let go of this connection or not. I'm just going to put a caveat in there. If this does not resonate with you, if this doesn't make sense to you, if you don't key in with the cards, or you just don't want to follow the advice of the cards, you've got free will. Sometimes tarot can work by showing you that you really, really want a different outcome. You know, if you don't want to let go, then you're not going to let go, and it doesn't matter what my cards say. But having said that, we will do the reading because a lot of people can get a lot of good advice, and sometimes it just keys in and tells you what you need to know, and sometimes it all just works that way. So working on that basis, you've got complete free will. You don't have to do anything that my cards say or I suggest. You know how pick a card readings work. We've got pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. The rose on the Fountain Tarot, beautiful black feather on a Rider-Waite deck, and this is the Modern Pagan Tarot with a timepiece on it. Focus in on them, see which one you resonate with, which one calls to you, sings to your soul, makes you feel lighter, however it works for you, whichever one you feel is the right choice. And I'll link the timestamps below. While you're here though, please like, subscribe. You'd be doing me a massive favour. I'd be eternally grateful. And if you want a very personalised just for you reading, then the Etsy shop links are down below. All that jazz. So without ado, focus on your piles and I'll meet you at your timestamps. And we are going to start with pile 1. Oops, don't break the clock. We're going to start with pile 1. Hi, beautiful pile 1 people. All right, who chose? You lovely, beautiful tarot people chose your rose. Lovely dried rose. We'll put that just there so it stays in view. There we go. All right, and we're looking at whether you should let go of this particular connection. Is this something that you should give up on? Should you let go? Should you move on? That sort of thing. Should I let go in this connection? Let go of this connection? Should I move on? What's going on here? So I will just shuffle these, get them in line with you. Do a brief prayer to all our spirit guides and the universe as a whole to guide well, with kindness, with love, for the best for all. And should you let go of this? Okay, you've got heavy hitting cards, haven't you? Somebody's feeling out of sorts. All the aces. Okay, just a moment while I tune in and my brain picks up on all the things. Okay, so, I mean, should you let go? Well, probably not, no. Right, on to the next. There we go, fixed it. All right. This is not, I mean, it's not easy for you, and I think you might have too much going on. You might have to put down some of those wands. You might find that you actually fall over all the wands that you're trying to carry at once, and everything's getting in the way and hard to carry them all. Yeah, I'm sorry. You seem a bit stressed. But the relationship card, that Ace of Wands, it's got potential. I mean, aces are the seeds, they are the potential, they are the beginnings, they are the possibilities. You're finding this hard going. They are quite possibly bringing about something through their faith, hope, light in the darkness kind of thing. God, they've got aces in the middle of theirs as well. I mean, this reads like you two are actually already over, to be honest. So have split up, but may reform, if you see what I mean. Some of you are going to be in this situation. You've got a 10, there's a 10 here, and then we're on to the aces. So that end start thing. Try not to get into a cycle of that. That on-off relationship is absolutely no fun, does nobody any favours. But you're there's a heaviness here that may not help. So if they are turning back up on your doorstep and saying, can we try again? I'm really sorry. Again, because there is a suggestion of reconciliation and falling apart and reconciliation with the numerology just alone. If you are in that cycle, you're going to have to deal with this somehow. You're going to have to break the cycle and make sure that it stays. And I'm putting it on you, and I know I am, and I know that's a bit victim blaming me, whatever, not fair. But sometimes life is not fair, and they are looking so insecure here in the future. Like holding on too tight because they think they're going to lose you. Like being so untrusting and insecure that they will then push you away. This is their future cards, by the way. So right now, hopes and dreams and possibilities and all flights of fantasy and she is my one and I can make this work. Real positivity right now. If you can harness that energy to destroy this energy, which is basically play, have fun with them, burn off the anxiety by just laughing and being silly, and focusing on the now and focusing on the potential and focusing on the new beginning, then yes. But this is something that you're going to have to close the door on, and you cannot come into it expecting it to not work, because the other person is suggested that they're doing that too. You both do that, it's going to go wrong because you're both expecting it to. So somehow you've got to shore it up, put down what your stresses are, put down all the problems, put down the heaviness, lighten it all back up again to this pure potentiality. And then it can. Queen of Wands, the cards want you to know, Queen of Wands, you don't live in this energy. You do not live in this place where everything's hard. Relationships should not be hard, not all the time anyway. Sometimes they can be, and sometimes things are harder than other times, but that's not where you live. You live in this land of flame and authority and fire and fun and healing and joyfulness and cats and sunflowers, apparently. I don't know why cats and sunflowers with the Queen of Wands, but there always are. But yeah, growth and the sun and the healingness and the getting people up and getting people active. And that's the energy that you want to be living in, And if this person drains you, then run. But I don't know that they do drain you. It's almost like you're draining you and they could actually be feeding you. Certainly suggest they have in the past, or at least you fed them in the past. But you got those aces in the middle. I can't turn it into a no. It doesn't matter what I do. I'm just looking at this potential and going, yeah, reboot, try again, give it a shot. The potential is there. It could be that you've got so many things going on right now that the idea of restarting with this person again, oh my God, can I? Yeah, you can. You've just got to put the burdens down and lighten your load a bit. It may be a case of time to wait for a little while longer. Although the potentiality is there now, and they may not wait too long because, like I say, insecurity, this fear mentality here is worrying, and it may be why they are really hesitant on coming forwards, or they're doing something like just sending you they're not quite in text, do you know what I mean? Staying in contact and orbiting you and not really giving you the deep conversation that you used to have with them, because they don't think you'll want them to, and they don't think that you'll accept them back in. So if you want to, and presumably you do want to try again, you're kind of watching this video, I suppose. If you want to, and you feel that there can be positivity and there can be joy, these are advisory cards on how to help it and what's blocking it. So isolation, neglect, separation, poverty mentality is not helping, and they are part of this. I'm not putting that on you. I'm saying that that's part of what they're going through. Okay, so what would help, what's kind of being shown to be needed in some ways, is fun, activity, the bringing these wands back into play, bringing some passion back into play. May not be as easy as it sounds. I understand that. I do see that there's a lot that you need to unburden yourself of. But if you just look at the colouring here, the darkness of what is, they seem to have a bit more faith than you do at this point in time, but there's so much potential. So should you let this go? No, there's the potential. Hang on in there, but be active, proactive about it. But first take care of yourself. First make sure you're not overburdened and that you have the means to fire things up a bit. Okay, I'm going to leave this one there. I'm going to move on to my pile 2 people, but thank you so much for watching. I hope that was useful. I hope you got something from it. Please do like and subscribe. All the details are below, all that sort of thing. But take care of yourselves. Thank you so much for watching. All right, and we're going to move on to our beautiful, fabulous, lovely pile 2 peoples. Hi, pile 2 peoples. Hello, welcome to your reading. You chose the feather. Feathers are very important to me at this point in time for various reasons. We will put that there. So hi tribe, hello my peoples. I think I probably have been born to this one too. But this is for those that are in connections that, you don't know whether you should be hanging on in there, whether you should just move on, whether you should move on, whether it's time to let it go, time to try and actively let go. Is it time to let go? Should you be letting go of this connection? So let's try that again. Rein myself in, refocus. And let's get these cards aligned with you and your people. Pile 2 people that chose the feather. Should they be letting go? Hi guys. That's not even a real card. Okay, how did that get mixed up in there? All right, so I don't think you really want to. All right, let me move these so that they're actually in your field of vision. Sorry, I haven't done a video in so long, and I am so used to basically working the phone lines at the moment. I'm working via phone and video. You'd think I was used to getting things on the screen, and yet no. All right, we can see all these. This really talks of long term. Like, if you're not long term now, that's what both of you want. It's possible for some, in some cases, that what the other person really wants is a friend, companionship, friendship, sweetness, where you want a bit more passion. Again, no, I can't read this and say, yeah, you should give up. It's like you don't feel the potential or see the potential. This crossover card is about what's problematic and what's not helping things. There's a suggestion of either overly emotional, I need it to be deep and meaningful love and so spiritual and so deep all the time, or that maybe it's no longer just in the early days. Maybe this is something a lot more long term that you're thinking of stepping out of. Both of these talk about the idea of there being a good ending here. So not an ending that's over, but an ending that's a victory, that leaves you standing proud, that leaves you having won through something. Both of these talk about very long term. So if you are in a very long term, if this is a marriage, if this is a really long friendship, if this is someone that you feel like you've known forever, then this is probably the reading for you. What's helpful? Normally this card is about holding on too tight, but it's about fearing lack. It's fear of losing. What would you lose? And in very long relationships, when you're doing your up and down things, because relationships are up and down, nothing's perfect all the time. Excuse me. Sometimes you look and you go, well, this is years. I've been here for a long, long time. It's a lot to let go of. And it can be a very good reason to not, you know, it can be wrong to stay in a dead relationship or an abusive relationship. Don't do that. But this doesn't read like that. This reads like maybe it's not great right now, but it's, you know, in the future, deep down, you know that it's going to be more good again, more rewarding. And there is something to say for being able to, do you know what I mean, grow old with someone and have a relationship that you can look back on and go, my God, that's 30 years or that's 50 years or, you know, we have grown old together. So maybe no, maybe you shouldn't. There is weirdly a reading here that says it would be a victory to get out. It's done its day and you know it. So if you're there, then you're there. You know, I'm already decided to get out. I know that I'm going to go. But for most people, I don't think that's this reading. I think your other person has come through a period where they haven't really been looking at the world very clearly, where they've been a bit confused by what's going on around them, what's going on internally, and a little bit of feeling like either they're not the focus of the world, of your world, or that they are focused. Somebody is focusing on the external, on the physical, on the practical, on the real world, where they want a little bit more to be on them, or you want them to be a little bit more focused on you. There's a shift in gears here that suggests a real attention to the romance and attention to the relationship in a really good way. And possibly not earth-shatteringly excitingly, you know. I mean, the Knight of Pentacles is very slow, very steady, very sturdy, doesn't stop moving once he started moving, but it's not earth-shatteringly exciting. It's incredibly solid, though. There's a suggestion that there's a need to be somewhat separate in the relationship. What do I mean by that? I mean by that we can't all live in each other's pockets all the time, that you both need external worlds and internal worlds that are sometimes not fully on display. Doesn't mean that they're not loyal to you, because this is my loyal card. It means more that they're likely to be charming you and trying not to display doubts or fear or anything like that, because they want everything to be perfect. But that can create a distance at the same time. It's finding that balance. If you see the balance between these two, they're kind of about the harder truths and the joyousness of beauty, or the dark and the light, or the give and the take. It's yin and yang. And while they're not prepared to show you what that balance is for them, them finding it allows them to step into a much more authentic, strong, fire-driven space. So for most people, this really is a no, you've battled through something, you've won. Letting go now might be foolish. And I think for a lot of you, that's kind of the reading that's here. There is, for some people, there's going to be a suggestion of there's been deception in the past and then there's a fear of deception in the future, but no, that's going to be okay. For most people, this reads as too meaningful, too deep for it to be given up too easily. Maybe there's a temptation to get out now, or it's been dull and things aren't interesting, or you're tempted by someone else, or there's been a period of chaos and confusion where you two have lived quite separate lives and somebody's been incredibly spiritual, somebody's been incredibly physically world-based. But I think this suggests that needs are going to be met and that there is a balance to be found somewhere in the realm of wands, of passion, of drive, of energy, between the purely spiritual based, dream based space of the moon to the high priestess, who is incredibly spiritual, but she's also the queen of balance. You know, she's the one that brings all sides and all things in, and she's controlled the moon. If you see, she's got her foot resting on the moon. She wears the moon. This is a continuation almost of this, but in a much more balanced way, in a much more controlled way. It's like there's desires that are being thwarted by the physical world or ignored because of the physical world that can actually be brought into action by this king. The actual relationship card between the two of you speaks of victory, hard-won victory. Don't get me wrong. This isn't something you just waltz in and go, la, 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 fixed. It's hard-won, but it can be won. This is such nostalgia and beatitude and kindness and sweetness in your partner space, and stability and passion and drive and excitement and marriage, and all that sort of thing, longevity in yours. For some of you, I don't think you really want to at all, and I don't think for some of you you should. But if you know you should, then obviously you should. I am just a tarot card reader on YouTube. You don't have to do what I say. But yeah, no, I don't think you should. I don't think you should give up on this connection. I think there's either too much already existing and it's already too long term to just give up so lightly. Acknowledging what you would be losing, look at what you would be letting go of if you were to. Really look at what you would be letting go of. And it's not just that now is not fun. It's all the years before that, or all the possible years to come, the longevity that this could actually bring. Allow for growth. I'm going to say again, the growth from the moon to the high priestess's control of the moon to from the queen to the king. It can grow and change and evolve. Staying there may well bring a very beautiful space with the world. It can bring everything that you want. So should you leave this connection? No, probably not. How positive and how lovely is that? It's really nice. Yeah, slow and steady, but honestly, look at the idea of yeah, what you would not want to lose in the space, and consider, you know, every relationship eventually runs out of its honeymoon period and turns into something that is different but the same. It takes work. I'm not saying it's going to just happen, but this suggests a willingness to work. Yeah. Give it another go round on the cycle and see. And you might just find that there's a lot of beatitude and there's a lot of kindness and loyalty and that sort of thing in this one. Okay? All right. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that was helpful. If it doesn't resonate, let it go. Find a different reading, pick a different pile. But if it did resonate, brilliant. So glad. Take care of yourselves. Please like and subscribe. But otherwise, I will see you in another pick a card reading. You take care of yourselves, and blessed be. Thank you so much. And we're going to move on to pile 3. I'm struggling with that chain for no reason whatsoever. Hi, you beautiful pile 3 people. Welcome to your reading. We are looking at whether you should let go of a connection or not. And we will just put that little timekeeper there. A pocket watch, piece of jewellery, timing, that sort of thing. Okay, so hello, my beautiful pile 3 people. We're looking into your connection. Normally means a relationship, something like that. And should you be letting go? Is this time to let go now? Are you done? Is everything over? Should you actively and move on? Or is there more to come between the two of you? Okay, so why can I not shuffle these cards? All right, here we go. All right, so there we go. Let me just put these out on the table. I'm just going to pause for a second, guys, because my camera seems to have crashed. I don't know whether it's recording or not. I will come back in 2 ticks. Okay, I hope I can edit this in smoothly. But right, so we were doing file 3. Sorry about that, my camera crashed. Something crashed, everything froze. Right, so we are looking at whether you should let go of this connection or not. And this is my lovely pile 3 people. Okay, let's have a look. Should you let go of this connection? Okay. All right, for most people, bluntly, for most people, yeah, you should. I'm sorry. Or, yay, depending on. But, so the imagery of that is fairly clear. It's like the two of you aren't bringing... you're bringing pain to one another. The relationship is causing pain in some way, shape or form. There's an obvious wish to make things right, to heal things, to deal with the past in your card, which is lovely and to be applauded and wonderful. And while yours is about healing things and fixing things and how do we move forward and what we do, it's like your person's is about who's to blame, whose fault was it, portioning right and wrong. It's not about fixing it, it's about looking at who's wrong, which can be a part of fixing things, but it's not the same thing, is it? Eking out justice is not the same thing as curing a problem. So you seem to be coming from different places. I worry about this being them being less mature than you. We've got basically pages and juveniles here. And that's not to say that they're children, but maybe they're not emotionally mature in this point in time, or the relationship drags them back into a childlike state where they then behave like a child and it doesn't help. The future cards for them, so the devil doesn't have positive connotations a lot of the time, does it? I mean, it can mean really wild sexual adventures and letting your wild self free. And but it can also be about power and giving way to your baser nature, and and just not, and the selfishness of, and it can be powerlessness, that utter giving up of my power to something else. Either way, it doesn't bode well for how the future will turn out. You've got an ending here. It's almost like they've decided that there's nothing they can do. It's only fair that it's over. That sort of thing. It's like they've lost the will, and the best result that they can see is for everything to end. And there's nothing you can do about that. You know, if somebody's in that headspace, and they're not prepared to nurture and grow and extend themselves and see that there is a possibility, then there's not much you can do. There's a sense of illusion, disillusion, not knowing that isn't helping. It's like you'll bring something up to try and fix it, and they'll make excuses or apportion blame, but they won't actually do anything to change it. But it feels like something's happening, and it feels like the wound's being let and that things are being healed, but they're not really. The Hierophant, to help the Hierophant would be to listen to your elders or to friends who seem particularly emotionally together, the people that you would go to for advice. And if the world's sort of throwing up, this is a red flag in a relationship, this is a bad thing in a relationship, and the general consensus is that what's going on can't be fixed, it's time to start listening to that general consensus. Possibly it's talk it through and get some advice, you know. Honestly go for that space of wisdom. I'm not one for following rules or listening to what other people have to say, or even given that as advice, but that card kind of has that connotation, so I am going to put that out there and say it's also expecting the traditional things. It's expecting someone to be loyal to you in a relationship, or at least answer your texts or be available to you. If they can't meet certain traditional aspects to relationships, then is this the sort of relationship that you want to be in? And it's very hard to navigate through someone who goes, well, I don't want a traditional relationship, I don't want anything that's got any, I don't know, responsibility for another person. But that's how relationships work. That's what relationships are. Trying to pretend like that isn't part of them, I think that's creates confusion and creates distortions of reality. I think it's very naive to believe that you can be in a relationship with someone without having some responsibility for your part in the relationship. You're 50% of it, or whatever proportion if you're polyamorous. But yeah, imagining possibilities. Also, this can be about not having enough information to work with. Again, if what they do is apportion the blame and go, yeah, that was me, but then don't actually alter their behaviour or do anything about it to make sure it doesn't happen next time, it can be a really confusing space to be in. You can feel like you're being misled because you think you've dealt with it and you think you've healed and sorted an issue, and then they just do it again because, you know, I did it last time, I've done it this time, it's me, I did it. They may feel bad, but unless they actually look at why they're doing it and fix that issue, they will probably do it again. Two of Pentacles, you do not have to do everything now. This can be a wait and see. If you feel the need to heal and see if things can change, then that's what you do. But the Two of Pentacles suggests this, it will keep going kind of feeling. There is also distract yourself with the outside world. If you've got to move away from this person and they are in your head and you need to heal. This is that whole, sorry, time is a great healer. Try and think about other things. Try and get busy with other stuff. I know it's not easy, but it's often quite beneficial to just focus on something, other work, the other thing. Throw yourself into something for a little while, just so that your head has a break from all the possible spinning round in circles that our minds will do. This could be this, it could be the other, it could be that, it could be... I can obsess in that way quite strongly. So you have my sympathy, but yeah, find the distraction. There's the Two of Pentacles. I mean, the Raid of White one has actually got the infinity symbol on it as well. This whole sort of... It's the sort of thing that can just keep happening and happening and happening. And do you want to be in a place that's like this for very long at all? I don't want to apportion blame, but it does look like they have not stepped up and been emotionally mature enough to treat you fairly. There's a suggestion of words that have been said that cannot be taken back. And also this sort of flighty airiness of, well, what do you expect? Not my fault. Or, yeah, what do you expect? I told you I was like that. That does my head in. Oh, I told you I would do that. And I said, please don't, because I don't want you to. So yeah, there's a sense that they are about to give up all forms of power, not necessarily responsibility, but it's likely that they will go, yeah, I did that and there's nothing I can do to fix it, so off I trot. Which is annoying me. Your person is annoying me. I'm really sorry. I'm annoyed on your behalf right now on a card reading. So... do I think you should let go of this one? Yeah, I do. I do. I'm probably being unfair to your partner. I'm probably oversimplifying or over-exaggerating things, but it doesn't look like this is comfortable. It doesn't look like it's sustainable long-term, at least not in a way that is healthy to both of you. There is a real suggestion that the best thing to do is to end. There's also that lack of choice, but that feels like it's coming from your partner. I normally read these as the other person's cards because you know what's going on with you. And an almost regressed childlike situation that got you to here. So yeah, get advice would be the real takeaway from that, or expect a degree of traditional values. I promise you I'm not a traditional family values type of person. What I mean by that is to be within a moral structure, to be within a, well, look, this is kind of what's accepted as right and wrong within relationships, and this is how relationships are expected to work. And why isn't mine in this space? How far outside of society's norms am I prepared to step in order to make it okay for this to be the situations that we get ourselves into? Make sure that you are based in reality with this. Seven of Chalices really warns against living in imagination. Visualizing a future is one thing, but imagining that somebody can be other than they are, that's not quite how the world can work. You can't control their being. You can control your response to them. That's the closest we can get. So as far as law of attraction and visualization and all that sort of thing, you may be able to create the universe where your person is other than they are in this universe, but you've got to be sure that you can. The chances are that you're more likely to tell yourself that there's something that they're not, and then get hurt when they don't live up to your imaginings of them. The other one is it's possible that you have imagined them to be so much more than they actually are, and you're about to crash to reality and it's going to hurt, or have already crashed to reality and it really hurt. But either way, this one is the no. If you don't resonate with this and you really want to hear the other, go listen to the other two, because those were yeses. Sorry. This is what it is. Have a massive hug. either way, your card talks of healing. Your card makes you come across as spiritually aware, attuned, awake, and capable of gently shutting a door. This isn't a slamming of a door and scratching of cars and slashing of tires. This is gently closing a door and going, okay, all right, I'm going to learn from this experience, and breathing in gently and being kind and gentle with yourself. Try to be kind and gentle with them, whether they deserve it or not, because that's something that they need to learn with the Justice card. It's not all about what you deserve. Sometimes it's about fixing things, and sometimes it's about looking at why. Not just who and what the blame is, but why. But yeah, I am sorry or yay, depending on your response to this. Hopefully it resonated and hopefully it was helpful. I'm still annoyed by that. I still want to just shake your partner a little bit. But good luck in the future. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to one another. Lovely to talk to you. Please do like and subscribe and all that sort of thing. Leave a note below if you've got any questions to ask or any comments. And otherwise, I will see you on another pick a card reading. But thank you so much for watching. Take care and blessed be all. Thank you.